What up? It's your boy Big Facts. Here with the boy Achilles for another episode, man. How you doing today, bro?
Yeah, I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Just working, hitting the gym. You know what it's like? You know what I'm saying?
Seen the workout videos on there, man. Tell the people where they can check you out on YouTube.
You can check me out on YouTube. It's under Achilles Korvinus. First name Achilles, last name Korvinus, Korvinus. Get at your boy. Holla at me. Subscribe if you'd like to as well. Link should be, somewhere around there.
And I'm your boy Big Facts. You can catch me at YouReedMe Network on Instagram, Bobby Reed on Facebook, and also on YouTube, YouReedMe Network. But yeah, man, today we coming at you. We're gonna talk a little bit about relationships, man. Relationships around the world, whether it's relationships that you're involved in, relationships with just friends and people. We've seen some dynamic changes through, I say, the last 10 years in just relationships with people. It seems like relationships overall is changing, man. So we're just gonna touch base on that a little bit, man. What's the most important thing to you in a relationship, bro? Any relationship, not even like intimate, just any relationship you have with people. What's the most important thing?
Just for me, man, it would be just honesty and trust. You know what I'm saying? Loyalty. That's, I'm real big on that. That's, to me, any relationship is the foundation. That, for me, that's the foundation. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But also, I do know the most important relationship you have is with yourself first.
Right.
But I feel you when you're talking about other people. But
yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, because people be losing themselves out here. So, but yes, absolutely. What about you?
Well, I mean, I agree with you, because you can't have a good relationship with anybody else if you don't know yourself.
Yeah.
And we talked about that a lot last episode of a lot of people don't know themselves, so it's hard for them to have a relationship with other people. They don't really even know what they value. Yeah. Right. And the same things that they value, they may not put out to other people because it's selfishness, right? They think that you're supposed to give that to them, but they don't give equally to you in those same things. But I'm with you, man. My most important thing in a relationship is loyalty. I value loyalty above everything else. I ain't even gonna say honesty, because I got some people around me that be lying, but as long as you're not lying to me about important stuff, you can exaggerate and stuff.
Man,
but as long as you loyal and you're honest about real things, you know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta be honest all the time. Those people lie, exaggerate, make stories.
Looking right at him lying.
Right.
Well, just one time we were going to Memphis. Now I'm gonna call his name out, Petey. He was driving. He fell asleep at the wheel. I said, "Man, Petey, wake up, man, wake up." He said, "What happened?" I said, "You sleep." No, I wasn't.
I ain't sleep.
I'm looking right. Come on, man. But that's my boy. You know what I'm saying? So, but
yeah, man. But I'm with you, man. Loyalty, man. Knowing yourself, knowing what you value, knowing what you bring to the table, and showing the same amount of respect for other people that they show for you, man. So that's big for me.
Absolutely, yeah. And just like what you were saying, it was like, they don't, what another person gives them, they don't want to give it to that. And it's like, to that other person. Yeah. And in a intimate relationship, or if it's just, social media's changed everything.
Yeah.
It's changed everything from what, people have looked at, just social media as if it's real. And it's like, none of it's real, but that's what's teaching everybody, everything. So it's cool to be a side chick now, or if you got multiple, women or whatever, and then it's, if he's talking to you, if he's breaking you off some money, then, you putting a price on yourself then. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So it was just like, none of those old traditional ways really are lasting. It's not here anymore. But and let me say it is, but it's just from what if you tune into that, it's just like, man, dang, are you looking at like basketball odds and stuff like that? It's like,
that's what I was going to touch on. I was going to touch on that before social media came into play, is reality TV.
Yes.
And I think reality TV warped a lot of, and it probably formed a lot of what goes on social media. Mm-hmm. But I think reality TV was the first basis for changes in relationship, because it gave an unrealistic view of what relationship is. Just like you said,
Jerry.
You got, even like basketball wise, right? They're saying that's a one-sided story, but you're seeing it glamorized on TV.
Absolutely.
Like reality TV is,
and it's scripted.
It's scripted. That's what I said. Reality TV ain't reality. That's you're gonna put the most drama and the most fascinating things on TV, and people start thinking it's real. Like, you got other things like 90 Day Fiance, right? You got Marry Me or Leave, or all these shows.
Man,
and it gives like unrealistic expectations, because it's not really the real world, right?
Absolutely.
Then you carry that into social media, which is even even more unrealistic than reality TV.
Man, yes.
And then it kind of messes up the whole dynamics of what a relationship is.
Absolutely. And it's like and it's like there's no trust anymore. That's would be my biggest thing, is to be able to trust, somebody. But then it comes to a point to where I feel like it's like you just gotta let go and let it fall, or let it be what it's gonna be. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just like, if you're married,
yeah,
right? Yeah, I'm single, so but but so it's like, if someone isn't engaging you the way that they feel like you should be engaging them, they got 20, 30 other people in the DMs, so they don't really want to stay in and actually make it work, because we got into an argument over something like this, so I'm just gonna go. And to me, social media and everything else is always showing that it's greener on the other side, when actual reality, that's not the case.
Yeah, well, you said that there's no more trust, but the reason why there's no more trust is, like you said, there's no more loyalty.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just the loyalty. I think that's the biggest thing that reality TV and social media has done, is it's changed what loyalty means, because we watch shows, right? Yeah. The Kim Kardashian, all this stuff, and loyalty isn't valued like it used to be, back when we were growing up. I don't feel like loyalty is the same. I think that's one of the reasons why you can get a person like 6ix9ine, and he telling his friends and everybody feel like it's okay, because they don't value loyalty and friendship. Absolutely. At the end of the day, no matter what, if you gang ties or whatever, you should do that because you're loyal, right?
Yeah, right.
Loyal to friend, but you don't have that loyalty no more, and trust. So when you talk about in relationships, I couldn't even imagine, because you're right. I mean, with filters and all the stuff that you can do on social media, you can have somebody on there and you have 100 people in their DMs every day telling how beautiful she is, and then she tell you, well, why you don't tell me that?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And it's just
you competing with people you don't even know.
Exactly. And for real, and the thing is, with especially when it's on there, they aren't even who they're portraying to be.
Right.
So like I say, at the end of the day, they can get together and but it's not gonna last, because I'm not saying all. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But for the most case, if they don't know who they are and they come, to me, it just seems like that it wouldn't last, because it's not real. And then that's when they'll hop from one relationship to another. So it's like they're like vampires. You know what I mean? They go from one person and get enough, like
succubus,
narcissists. That's what but you got to think now. Now I'm thinking about it. All the TV shows and all the stuff you look at, that's what it's creating. Yeah. It's people to be like that. Yeah. And to me, the research that I've done on narcissists is nothing but a grown ass adult acting like a kid. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like they don't want to play the victim. They don't want to be held responsible for any and everything that they do. They go in a relationship. I know if I've been in a relationship, I'm gonna own up to mine. Right. To my stuff. And I know that I'm in this situation because of me. You know what I mean? I'll take ownership of what it is, because I was the one that put this illusion in
accountability.
There you go. And I made it look like, well, this is what I thought she would be like. You know what I mean? But I'm willing to work. You know what I'm saying? But nobody wants to work.
But one of the biggest things, especially with social media, is back in the day, you had to face-to-face meet someone, talk, have conversations on the phone, thing like that. But you can build yourself out to be something that you're not. Yes. Without ever actually having a physical conversation.
Absolutely.
Right? You can just text DMs, send each other pictures, and form a reality that doesn't really exist. So then when you do meet up with each other, it's a disappointment on one side or the other.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yeah.
Because what you saw doesn't match up to what you thought it was, and it's fascination. And another thing, I mean, even back in the day, was a problem with that, because, you talk on the phone, and we, Chris Rock got the famous joke, when you first meet a person, that's his representative. That ain't really the real person you get once you settle down, the honeymoon period is over. Yeah. You meet the person's representative, and then you have to figure out if you like that person, because you don't know until 2-3 months. Yeah. All the honeymoon period and lovey-dovey stuff go out. You don't really know until you really have an altercation or art.
There you go. And that's on the absolutely. And that's when you're gonna know if it's legit. Yeah. When you actually going through something that's real. And I don't mean made up lies or hearing stuff from other people, you know what I'm saying, and stuff like that. It's when you're actually clashing. And to me, that's good, because that's gonna see how strong y'all are. Right. You know what I mean? Without any of that, I don't mean, like I say, that to me, that's the most important thing. But like I say, nobody, you know what I mean? It's really hard to find somebody that's real. Yeah. You know what I mean? And just straight up, if they're straight up and willing to work through it, that's totally fine. You know what I mean? But it's just like you say, it's just everything's just so accessible. Oh, I'm gonna go over here and go and do that, and hey, whatever floats they boat. Like I say, because I'm good. Well, I'm man. You know what I mean? So it's just, but that's all it.
Well, I say another thing. I mean, I used to always be mad at magazines, right? Because I thought magazines gave unrealistic expectations for people to live up to and relationships to live up to. So we taken the magazine concept and we put it on social media, right? So the expectations of what people think you should be or who you should be, not even on the other person, right? Just on myself.
Yeah.
Like if you look at social media, you look at TV, and you look at where people are, and you look at what social media tell you these people are, it can make comparing yourself to them and start to make people envious and start having depression set in a lot of people and make people feel like failures and make people feel like they're not good enough, right? And so you seek that attention of somebody to build your confidence up somewhere else because you're feeling like you're less than because you're believing in things that aren't real, right?
Absolutely.
And so once you start feeling less than, then you start looking to compensate from other people, right? You look for somebody else
fill that void
that you're in, and it's somebody that you're with. So if you are in a relationship, maybe they're not doing it, right? So then you look for other people to do it, and you start feeling like the grass is greener. Yeah, but that's not real, right? That's the courting period, like the old people. Court. Yeah, they court you.
Yeah, dog, and that's real. You know what I mean? It's just with the conversate and be honest and be real. When people get together and they'll be like, I'm gonna be with you and this is how we're gonna be the whole entire time. That's not, everything's always changing. Everything's changing.
People change.
She's changing as an individual, he's changing as an individual. As long as they can stay on that loyalty and that trust and be able to talk and say, look, this is yada yada yada, the problem. You know what I mean? Then everything should be okay. And I will say on the other end, social media is good because it's helped people reach to certain platforms, and success and things like that. But I'm gonna turn over that other point and I'm gonna say, with this stuff being out here, it shows only the strongest survive. Right. On some real, you know what I mean? So like I said, I gotta take it. There you go. You know what I mean? So it's like, I can look at basketball wise, I watch Jerry Springer because my grandma was on that drama stuff. But it's like, when you don't, it's entertainment, but when you don't fall into it, it's like, oh my God, like I know homeboys got a girl and they'll be watching that stuff and then all of a sudden it'd be something mad and wrong. Well, you've been conditioned for an hour watching that,
But you gotta have your own mental strength. Like you said, you gotta know what it is. Like you talked about last episode, don't take things so serious. And things can be entertaining, it can be funny.
Absolutely.
If you know it's not real, it's no different than watching a movie. I don't watch a movie and then be like, oh my God, these demons about to chase me. You know what I mean? So you just gotta know what entertainment is and what you're watching it for. But also, like I said, you got to know yourself. And there's so many people that just don't know themselves. They don't really know, because they don't know themselves, they don't know what they really want. They don't know what they really need. Like I can ask them the same question I asked you. What do you value? If you don't really know yourself, you don't know what you value. You might say something physical, right? Absolutely. You might say a body type because you really don't know what you value. But when you really know what you value, all that other stuff is kind of meaningless. Because if I value loyalty, it don't mean nothing to me if your body changed, right?
Thank you.
You know what I mean? But if I got with you because of your body, and your body changed, that's gonna cause problems in a relationship.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
It was all physical. It was all external.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta really know what you want and what you're looking for before you get in a relationship, because everything's changed. People grow. You know what I'm saying? People grow. It can't be just like, hey, I like this person for who she is now or who he is now, because that person can change. Yeah. You want to grow together with people. Absolutely. But some people can grow apart. You know what I'm saying? Different directions, but that can still work if you know what you truly value in that relationship. And it also goes to the other way. You know if it's time for you not to be together because maybe what you value in that relationship is no longer there.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Because there's certain cases you could get with somebody still physical that wasn't as attractive, then they get attracted and you don't feel like they're as loyal, or you don't feel like you can trust them. Yeah. And it doesn't matter. They may look better than when you started, but you can't be together because you don't value. That loyalty isn't there anymore. That trust isn't there anymore, and that's what you truly value. What do you trually value? It could be looks. Yeah. But you got to be honest with yourself.
Yeah, more power to you. Yeah, and that's the thing. And it's like if that's what you go off of, more power to you. I'm all about she can be a 10, but if she ain't got it up here, right. I can't. You know what? Because none of that matters. I'm gonna need to know you ain't gonna fold. When time happens. And one thing too is like they'll go and like I've had some homework come and ask me for some advice, and I'm like, you could be asking me for no advice in a relationship that you got. So right. So that's what I'm like y'all the team. Yeah. You know what I mean? So if I'm the team, I don't need to hear nobody else what they gotta say. I don't need to hear about what Kanye West, what he suggested him and his girl to do together. Right. That's just crazy. Now, it's one thing to be just shooting it, just talking about it. But then it's like, oh, well, so-and-so did this, so why we... damn, I'm just saying. So you trying to say that they relationship, we are in our relationship and we on our own way.
Right.
And we said if anything's gonna be a trend, we gonna say it.
Right.
I'm just being real, but it really doesn't matter anyway. I'm just saying, you know.
No, I get you. But I'm big on like, yeah, you shouldn't compare your relationship to other people's relationship because you don't get to see the real. It's just like, it's no different from me talking about TV or social media, right? If I'm looking at somebody else's relationship, it depends on how close you are with them, but you don't know the depths of the relationship.
Absolutely.
They're not showing you the negatives, right? They're only going to show you the positive, and when they're having some trouble, might not be around. Now, if you're real close, you might know some more details, but usually people are going to put their best foot forward, right? Even if they're going through something, they might still come over and show that they're happy and stuff. So you can't compare yourself to other relationships. They may have the house, they might have the car, they may have the money, you know what I'm saying? All those things, and be miserable.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying? You
still arguing. And if they're not real, they're not going to be able to sustain anything. And most important to me is a relationship. You know what I mean? That was something, because me coming from the way that I grew up, which you touched on last episode, I don't have that. So that would be something to actually, of course, but it's gonna have to be real. You know what I mean? There's just no other way. You know what I mean? So, and it's not gonna settle. Right. You know what I mean? That's one thing I expect so much from myself. And the thing is too, that's what I'm gonna touch on, is like, I expect so much from myself or any person in a relationship. That could be on something else, and the other person can be, I don't really want to say lacking behind, but just mentally not there. But as long as they're trying to better themselves and they're all trying to get there, then it's all game. You know what I mean? It's like, that's on. You know what I mean? So
and a lot of that's just communication, right? Because if they really have that trust and loyalty, then they understand when you're speaking to them, then you're speaking from a place of trying to help them better themselves. So they like themselves, not for you. You're not trying to better them for you. You just see things that may be lacking for them, you know, because people talk, you know, you say things, she might tell you or he might tell you some things that he doesn't like about himself, and you try to build them up, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And also, everybody has something to offer. Things that they might be weak in,
they can bring the strength out.
She can, you can bring the strength out of them, but they can offer you something that maybe you look strong, but you are lacking in, right?
Like, I didn't even know that.
I didn't know I needed that. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about growing together, or trying to better each other. But that's one thing we hadn't touched on. Communication is a big part of it too. A lot of people just don't know how to communicate with each other, and the pandemic didn't make it better, right? We talk about texting and even DMing and communication on Facebook. Like, people don't really know how to have face-to-face conversations or communicate things anymore. People don't even know how to communicate when they're upset or they don't like anything in a constructive manner. Not saying that you don't know how to say stuff. People can scream and curse and all that. But do you know how to communicate your feelings in a constructive manner? Like, I thought that I took it for granted because that's something I can do. I can communicate and tell people how I feel. But there's so many people that just can't communicate constructively and tell you how they're feeling.
And don't know how to take it too.
Right, and don't know how to take it because they don't know how to give it. So when you give it back to them, they don't know how to understand it, right? Because they don't even know how to communicate it. So that's a big thing you have to work on in a relationship, is finding someone that y'all speak the same language, so communication is there.
No, I agree with you 100% on that. So really, you know what I mean? Like I say, that's as real as it gets there. You know, it's just guys, just don't lose yourself out there. You know what I mean?
Women too.
Especially, I mean, especially the ones that you know who be, you know, who have kids. And you know, guys just coming through, just playing, you know, playing games and stuff like that. Just don't give up hope. That's all I can say. Which I really don't like using that, but make sure you love yourself before you go. You know,
don't settle.
Exactly. And you know, make sure he's just willing to help you better yourself. Hold that mirror up to you, because I'm all about, you know, if I'm getting to know you, I'm gonna bring the best you in you, with or without me. You know, and that's it, and it's always been like that. So
I don't have no relationships where I can't be real, because I'm pretty blunt. You know what I'm saying?
I know you is.
I don't always pick the best words to say to people. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes when I'm trying to say something, it depends on how it's gonna come out. So people have to understand who I am, understand that I ain't talking from a place of negativity. Even
and
know
know you,
know me, right? Right. So that's why I don't have like a lot of people that I talk to, because I mean, it takes so long for people to get to know me, and I can't be comfortable because I know I can't really talk around people that don't know me.
Be like, I can't say this. I can't. So you don't really mess with too many, just like I don't.
Because I don't know how people gonna take what I say. Because I know when I get real comfortable, I can say something. I don't know how you're gonna take it. I just want to be able to, you know, be comfortable and be me. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to filter myself and have to worry about how that's gonna make people feel. Or, oh, they took that too sensitive and personal. You know, I might say a joke. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't like it, I want you to be able to hit back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Something back. Not nobody take it personal. Nobody get mad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, they'll wait. You leave, and then they go tell 100 other people.
You know what he said to me?
Yeah. Like, hold on, you don't know him. You don't know Bobby like that. If you know, so but yeah, man.
But what I did want to touch on, we didn't do last episode, man. I be seeing you be posting those movies, man. I be up on a lot of stuff we watch.
I be posting some little stuff.
What about that Stir Echoes? I see
that's it. Yeah, that's it. They're taking it back. Yeah, that's nice. You know what I mean? When they start talking about that, you know, about that stuff beyond the five. And when I say beyond the five, that's like beyond our five senses. You know, like our intuition, like you got gut feelings. Yeah. Like when you take it beyond, we have those powers. Regardless if people know it or not. You know, you got intuition. You know, back in the day before we even had phones and before we were texting, we'd be like, hey, I wonder what so-and-so doing, or you be talking about them. The next day you see him at the mall. Right. There you go. You do that. I mean, it's everything all plays in itself, and we've got this, you know, we have these other senses. It's just people just are unaware of that. Well,
yeah, I think that
some are.
Yeah, because I'm about to say, I think that, like you said, people just they brush it off as coincidence, right? Yeah. They don't really get in touch with what it is and trust it. Sometimes because you think it's coincidence, so you don't trust it to try to tap into it. Like I can get feelings when I'm around people to know how come. Like I don't even have to know a person, but when I meet them, I can kind of tell if I can.
Or if they, or even if they walk in the room.
Yeah, you walk in the room, like I can, like it'll make my mood change.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
That's energy. Yeah, and that's strong. We all have it. You know, and like you saying, and to go back on what we was on, if a person is physical, just all about the physical, then they're gonna miss all that. Yeah. And then that's when they're gonna get themselves in the jam. If that's someone they have a relationship with, whether it's friends or even more, because you're focused on what social media and what everything wants you to be focused on, just the physical. You know what I mean?
Some people are in relationships when their partner walk in the room, their mood changes to negative. Yeah. You shouldn't be with a person that when your partner walks in the room, it changes your mood to negative. Yeah. You know what I mean?
And even and also being with someone just out of fear, being alone, because you don't want to face yourself. Yeah. That's the worst thing you can do. Because at the end of the day, everyone's got to face themselves. The traumas that they dealt with in the past and past relationships and all, you know, you're gonna have to deal with it. So if you can't, and some people can't do it alone. Let's be real. That's why they got. So if you got someone that's willing to stay in there and fight with you and help you go through it, and you all both open up on both parties, it's all game. You know, it really is. You know, anything. We're all limitless. Is whatever you choose to.
Well, another thing you don't want to do is once, if you know you can't be alone, and then you're scared to leave a relationship, then once you leave the relationship, you go jump into another relationship. You don't want to be alone. Yeah. You know what I mean? And then that kind of starts a stream of bad things going on that can spiral out of control. It can affect your own mental health. Yes. You know what I mean? Affect a lot of different things so that's why people should always take time in between relationships to get over the person that you're with. Yes. You know what I'm saying? Deal with your issues and then move on. Otherwise, you're going to carry that baggage into another relationship. And that's just going to, even if that person is a match for you, you can destroy that relationship before it even begins.
Yeah, because you're living in the past. Because you're living mentally. Mentally. That's it. Yeah, and that's real. That's real. So anything come up, why you sound like so-and-so, fool? Well, that's time to backpedal. you know, so, but, yeah, that's just the, y'all, you just know who you are, right. You know, and I know it takes time and it's gonna work, but just face yourself in the mirror. Who are you? What do you want? Why are you at where you at? And are you doing everything what you need to be doing? That's, you know.
And that's the theme of this episode, man. Know who you are. Loyalty, know what you value. You know what I'm saying? In a relationship, know what you're giving, know what you're getting, and hold yourself and whoever you're gonna be with, friendships, relationships, shit, even at work, you know, if that's what you value, you gotta hold people to those standards so you don't be disappointed, and you don't disappoint, right? What else you got to say for the people, man, before we end it?
Just keep it real. And most importantly, keep it real with yourself and keep growing, keep doing your thing. So that's all I can say. Now, for the one, when we were talking about the ones that really want to have a relationship, we ain't talking about the ones that want to ride around.
Man, I mean,
you know, you double remix or whatever, you know.
I'm riding around, I'm getting.
Yeah, do your thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? So, but yeah,
we say sow your royal oats.
Man, all kinds of oats.
Yeah. All right, but shit, this be your boy, Big Facts. Tell people where they can find you again.
Achilles Korvinus, Achilles. Last name Korvinus, Korvinus. That's on Instagram and that's on YouTube too.
All right, you find your boy at YouReedMe Network. You can also find me on Facebook. Put in Bobby Reed, or you can find me on YouTube, Read Me Network, but it'll be down below. Peace.